My name is Dr. Daniel Gonzalez, and my practice is Family Health Chiropractic in Austin, Texas. I've been practicing since 2005, and I've only ever used electronic charting notes software in my practice. And about 3 years ago, I switched to ChiroTouch. I was looking for something that was a little bit more simple to use. The one that I had was very complicated, and I actually visited another office that had ChiroTouch, and I spent a day in his office trying to play around with it, and I just fell in love with it, and so that's how I got into it. And since we've incorporated it into our practice, I basically don't have to worry about my notes anymore, which is really the biggest thing. As a doctor, that's the last thing you want to have to do, especially whenever you get insurance rejections or you get questioned regarding your insurance. It's so easy just to print everything out and send it, and so that's really been the biggest thing for me. As far as my staff goes, I've been able to downsize actually my staff because it's much more efficient, and so there's a lot of work that we can now get done with less staff. Favorite part about ChiroTouch, well, I guess there would be two. On the business side, it's going to be the ease of the billing, as well as entering all of the bills or the insurance checks when they get back in, which I don't do, but I know how easy that is for my staff, and I used to help them with that, and so now with ChiroTouch, again, it's maybe about 5 minutes that we spend, whereas it used to take literally about 2 or 3 days every time we'd get our insurance checks in. As a doctor, the best part for me is just the integration with, of course, the x-rays, the chart notes. I can make beautiful soap notes in 1 minute or less, especially narratives for personal injury cases, that type of stuff. So for your more complex presentation or notes, it makes it much more easier. The alert system is good, yeah. So, as a lot of times you can have patients where they'll slip through the cracks because maybe you're not paying attention to where they're at in care. And so in our office, everything is pre-programmed. Right when you become a new patient, you're going to get set up with a series of alerts, whether that's at the 6th visit, the 12th visit, the 36th visit, and it basically just triggers. It's almost like an internal auditing system that we are able to use. So we know when we need to ask for reviews, we know when we need to do our examinations, re-exams, or even our wellness patients where we have it pre-programmed where we can set it up to where we're going to go ahead and touch them again, where it'll say, hey, you haven't really had an examination with this patient in a while, and so it makes it a lot easier to keep up with all of our wellness patients. Actually, we just started using CT reminders, and that's another great aspect of it. We don't have to. We used to spend probably about 3 to 4 hours a day calling, because we call every single patient, to remind them about their appointments, all our new patients, all our examinations. Now with the CT reminders, it's again pre-programmed. As soon as you become a patient in our office, we get your email or your phone number, and you'll get an automatic text message reminding you about your appointment every day. Or we can program it to go out, whether that's every other visit or you have a lot of customization features behind that. But yeah, that's also been a great added benefit for my staff, because now I don't have to have somebody calling or using the phone, and they can concentrate more on our patients as they're coming in rather than all the nuances that you have to do as far as running your practice. All of our patients actually really appreciate the fact that we're so high-tech, and they'll frequently say we're high-tech, high-touch, and they love that, and they love getting the reminders. And a lot of times what we've noticed is actually since we've incorporated the reminders, there was a time when I felt that maybe patients were just not, they didn't want to come in or they were forgetting, but it was actually because of that, because they forgot. And now with the reminder, it triggers them to come in, and so it has increased our appointment frequency, and so we're more consistent with it, definitely. Gosh, I'd say and I tell all my chiropractic buddies and friends that ChiroTouch is really an amazing piece of software. The practice management software that I was using before was apparently one of the best, and from what I've seen, there is no comparison. And of course, at the end of the day, it comes down to efficiency of your practice, how well you're running your practice. In terms of cost, I pay a fraction of what I was paying for the other software, and yet it does so much more. So I highly recommend it for anyone.